Meeting will come to order. This afternoon, I'd like you to bow with me for a word of prayer, and then after that, we will all stand for the pledge. Please bow with me. Heavenly Father, thank you this day and all the blessings you've given us. Thank you for the opportunity to work for your people and do the work of your people. Bless us as we work through this afternoon's agenda, and bless us as we go home and to our way of life. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, I need a motion on the work session minutes of the 17th of July.
Motion to adopt.
A motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
A motion on the regular council minutes for the 17th of July.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Mr. Mayor, you're up.
Thank you. We're delighted tonight to have advertiser with us to continue the tradition they started this year of community heroes. Tonight we've got a legend in her own time, and I'm trying to find it. There she is. Legend, would you mind coming up here to the podium? This is Sue Tang Woods. Everyone knows her. Everyone uses her, I suspect. Sue Tang has been awarded a community hero. Come on, Sue. This month, actually it was a month or so ago, and she was not feeling well when we were going to originally do it. So, Bro Griffith, if you would come and make the formal presentation, I want to congratulate you. Thank you for everything that you do in our community. She's a great ambassador for our community. Bro, where are you?
Thank you. Council, thank you. I'm glad to be back. Like he said, she is an inspiration to our community, and because of that, Sue is our community hero for the month of June. If you have not read her story, or if you are not familiar with it, I'll go over it a little bit. There's a quote that we had in the story where she was stitching at night, trying to make ends meet, and she just said, another stitch, another penny. She came here from Laos in 1973, getting away from socialism, getting away from communism, seeing an opportunity in America and believing that. And she looked out the window of the airplane and looked down and said, she had one question for herself: where am I going to sleep tonight? So she went from that moment of where she didn't know where she was going to sleep to building a business in this community with 6 locations. And she's been a part of generations of this community on their biggest moments. And it's just a small thing, but she's there with that perfectly tailored suit, or that perfect bride walking down the aisle with her father, or at that, most importantly, what she built a lot of her business off of, is for the officers at Maxwell. When they're at that change of the command ceremony, and they've got that commanding officer making sure that everything is perfect and the brake is right. Sue makes that brake right on those pants. But she did it through hard work. She did it through perseverance. She did it through a belief in herself and a belief in others. She's invested in her family, who has also built businesses across the country. She's invested in her employees, and they have now owned businesses in Montgomery. And because of that, and because of her dedication to us as a community, and because of her dedication to her family, and because of her dedication to her job, she was our community hero for the month of June. Congratulations, Sue.
Thank you. Then we'll make a presentation.
They want me to say something.
You're never a loss for words.
Well, it's truly an honor I can be here today. In the seat here, I'm sure so many citizens here is to do a lot more than what I'm doing. That make me feel so humble to able to receive this award. I'm an American immigrant. I came 1973, but I become American citizen in 1979. When I stand at the courthouse in Anchorage, Alaska, under the American flag, I become an American citizen. The tear is rolled down to my eye. I left my 3 young children in Laos behind me that I know soon will be reunion, because this is a country that give everybody an opportunity. After I become American citizen, I understand I have so many rights that American citizens will receive. We have freedoms of right. We have equal opportunity of right. We can go to work hard, we can live our life dignity, but we also have responsibility. We that we have to pay tax, we have to obey and respect the law, we have to support and respect our Constitution. We have to do for the country then when the country needs us. That is the duty that become an American citizen that should do. If you refuse to do this, you should not be an American citizen. That's what I feel. So after I do that, I apply my children to come to me. I work very hard, and I know where every dollar I work, where they come from. I drink the water. I never forget who dig the well. Everything I have, it comes from everyone here. But I want you to know the money you spend in tank is not wasting. It's going to go back to the community again. Many of my friends told me, say, you're 76. How long you still going to work? Are you not have enough money? No, I got plenty enough money. I don't buy expensive clothes, a bowl of noodle, I'm very happy. I eat cornbread, I can eat collard green. This is no problem. Lobster is not my thing. I live very simple life. But why I still working? Because I want to use my limited time that I have to do unlimited things. God give us in this earth must be have a purpose. If I still have 10 days left, I couldn't do 10 things. I might can help 10 people. If I have another 10, 20 years left, thank God I can do something God want me to do. So I thank you, everybody, that I want to let you know that everything I have, I thank you to my God, and I thanks to everyone. Thanks.
Young ladies, this is the Montgomery Academy soccer team. What you've just learned in about 3 minutes is life lessons here. One for one. Yeah.
Great again.
That's good. Thank you. Appreciate that. We have some other young ladies that we're honoring tonight. The Montgomery Academy girls soccer team, and our public information and external affairs writer has penned some words that honor you, and I never see them until I come to the podium, so please excuse me as I read. The springtime means long days, leaves on trees, the return of red-breasted robins, and the amazing regularity, a blue state championship trophy in girls soccer for the Montgomery Academy Eagles. Since 1911, the MA girls have only come up short of the state, since 2000, this is the author right here. Since 2011, the girls have only come up short of the state title twice, once in 2013 and once in 2016. That year, 2016, the team still advanced to the state championship semifinals. This year, the Lady Eagles took an 18-3 record to the state championship and wasted no time displaying their dominance. In their semifinal game, they led 5-0 at the half. The game ended early when the Eagles brought the score to 11-1 and triggered the 10-goal mercy rule at the 68-55 mark. Games last 90 minutes, so you can see they disposed of them pretty quickly. The championship game also features stingy MA defense and prolific MA scoring. The Eagles had 34 shots on goal, scoring 5 times as they shut out West Morgan to win their 7th overall champion crown. Carter Tucker is the coach, and this is her first season at the helm of this great team. If Coach Tucker would come, we'll present the award to her, or a certificate, and then from that, we'll have
Caleb, I'm sorry. No, go ahead. If you want to say something, please come to the microphone so we can hear you. High expectations. Congratulations. Kayla Williams. Caroline Kirkham. Griffith. Reese Kelso. Margaret Head. Brooke Horn. Leighton Robertson. Isabel Drumright. Caitlin Phoenix. Bay Corley. Hayes Jenkins. Nora DeSantos. Mary Weldon Armstrong. And the state tournament MVP and yet another Cats superstar on the soccer field, Tara Katz.
We now come to not the culmination, but the beginning of a process which is called budget evaluation time, and hopefully leading us to budget approval. But this didn't start in the last 5 or 6 days or even 5 or 6 weeks. It's an effort that's been ongoing since the June timeframe, and I want to commend our department budget managers, our department heads, our finance staff, the folks that have worked through this budget with certain expectations, but also knowing that we had certain goals that we had to try to achieve. I would hasten to tell you that the budget is very detailed, but we have a budget message that should be at your desk along with the budget booklet. But let me just give you some of the high points. And this is not the time necessarily to have any discussion, but if you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. This budget represents about a $250 million general fund. It's a shade over $250 million. Now, the majority of the $8 million increase in this budget over last year's budget and hopefully the expenditure really is in 4 or 5 areas. And let me give you the global. While these aren't the precise numbers, I've rounded them for convenience. We all know that we have faced very difficult challenges in our health insurance, both for our active as well as our retirees. There is a $3 million need to fund our health insurance we call the index fund, the internal index fund, but it is for our health insurance. So $3 million is being funded in the 2019 budget to put into the service fund. 1.5 million additional dollars will be put for neighborhood paving, intersection upgrade, and striping. And every district will have at the $220,000 level for expenditures in the neighborhood. 1.5 million. 1.7 million of the increase will go for merit increases for deserving employees. 1.2 million will go towards the truing up that came about because of the council's investigation and the work with the City County Personnel Board to come for public safety. And that number represents about $1.2 million. And then also we've included a $500,000 number for a one-time payment to our retirees. That will take the form of a one-time payment, not dissimilar to what the state did a bit earlier this year. So that is, those are the macro expenditures of the increase of the $8 million. In your packet or in your council agenda under the mayor's message, you'll see 3 ordinances that are not being proposed tonight because I don't have the authority to propose, but you will take up at some later point in time that would represent some increase in funding. And here's the increase in funding that we have proposed. $3 million of increased funding will come from an increase of 2 cents for the gasoline tax in the city of Montgomery, and that will raise $3 million. There's a $2 million reduction proposed going from 3 to 2 days in trash pickup per week, but we're adding back a debris point collection for every week, every Saturday of the year. If you remember, a number of years ago, we cut that to 2 Saturdays a month. We're restoring that back to every Saturday in the year as a drop-off point. If you feel like that you need additional can, that will be available at a one-time charge of $50 or a $5 a month charge. And then $3 million will be arrived at from the general increases in our sales tax, our ad valorem tax, our business license fees, as well as our lodging tax. And I'll just remind you that we will have a record year this year in lodging tax, and we anticipate that continuing again next year. So we got an $8 million increase in the expense side of the equation, and the macro is that these are the $8 million of expenses that will be proposed to cover that. But I'll also tell you, in that $250 million budget, there is proposed a $1 million increase to our reserves, as well as expenditures for a couple of economic development projects that we've made finals on, but we will not know for a couple of 3 months whether we get selected. It's a fairly modest amount in the couple of $100,000 range. So that is the budget that we are presenting. As I said, it's very detailed. We've got a budget message, and included are 3 ordinances that will deal with the increase in the gasoline tax as well as the sanitation collection fee. Somebody asked me earlier today at the work session, could you achieve the same dollar amount by putting in additional charge for our garbage service? And the answer certainly is yes. That would equate to perhaps a $5 a month charge, which would take us from 24 to 29. But that's only the beginning, because on any one day, we've got to have 62 to 65 vehicle packers moving around Montgomery to take the routes. If you don't have 62 routes and maybe only have 40 routes, then you don't have to have as many packers. You're not using as much fuel. You don't have the capital cost, and you certainly don't have the maintenance cost, because our fleet is getting old. However, we have bought 12 or 14 over the last 2 or 3 years. We have some more proposed in this particular budget. So our fleet, if you cut it essentially in half, gets to be a pretty decent fleet pretty quickly. But that is the presentation tonight, and I'll look forward to answering the questions. Barry Crabb and Betty Beeble and others at our cabinet level and department heads have all the details, and we'll be looking forward to having the opportunity to explain the budget fully and to defend or explain any of the transactions that we have proposed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Madam Clerk, let's put all of these into the minutes tonight, and then they'll appear on the agenda for next meeting. We will have a public hearing on the budget at the next meeting, and the others will be on the agenda.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it has to have a public hearing. Well, now you won't schedule a work session until after the public hearing, okay?
Could you speak in the microphone? We can't hear you, please.
Can we have a work session on these 3 proposed ordinances?
We can meet 30 minutes early next meeting. Yeah, we can just come in 30 minutes early for the work session and talk about that.
No.
That'll give us enough
Is that
time
going to be
talk.
enough?
I think that should be enough.
If I may speak to that from
Yes, sir, Mr.
Councilman
Mayor.
Pruitt's standpoint, the reason that they are at least being offered, if you will, tonight is the full effect of these 3 ordinances would be effective October 1. And we've counted the revenue effect or the cost effect as of October 1. And so if we don't deal with it, if the council does not deal with it in advance of that, then it would be the November, December timeframe that would be coming into effect, and we'd be short whatever that amount of money is. So
And that's why, Mr. Mayor, I think, I don't think I'm speaking for everyone, but I think there are some questions and some concerns that some of us have.
And that's why
about
we're
the
giving it to you
ordinances.
now.
And that's why I was asking if we
We
could
can
have
just,
a work
we can
session
just
on
start
that.
the work session 30 minutes early, an hour earlier. We start at 2:30 instead of 3:30.
Okay.
Okay, that'll give us time to work on it.
2:30, Madam Clerk.
2:30. I'll get the notice out on, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. First item, Madam Clerk, I think everybody's signed up to talk on item 15, so we'll take that.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, item 1, mayoral veto of resolution 103, finalization of revocation of business license of Tender Chick.
I need a motion.
Motion to suspend the rules.
This will be uphold, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir, just
Okay.
uphold.
Motion to uphold.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 2, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning one lot located at 808 Martha Street from an R60D zoning district to a B1B zoning district.
Mr. Tyson?
Mr. President, the Planning Commission recommended the rezoning of this property to be used for multi-use.
Okay, need a motion, council?
This is a public hearing, Mr. President.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does anyone here would like to speak against this item? Please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held proper for the council. Need a motion? Whose district is this?
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 3, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning one parcel of land located at the southernmost end of Shea Park, 450 feet east of Taylor Road from an O1 district to a B3 district.
Mr. Tyson?
Mr. President, the Planning Commission recommended the rezoning of this property for commercial use.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held proper for the council. Need a motion?
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 4, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning one parcel of land located on the southeast side of Wetumpka Highway, 700 feet south of Old Wetumpka Highway from an Ag 2 district to a B2 district.
Mr. Tyson?
Mr. President, the Planning Commission recommended the rezoning of this property to allow for the expansion of an RV park.
Very good. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held proper for the council. Need a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 5, ordinance amending Section 5.71 International Building Code Boards.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 6, ordinance authorizing purchase and sale agreement and sale of real estate owned by the city located at 1268 Clay Street to Robert Todd Woods.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 7, ordinance authorizing purchase and sale agreement and sale of real estate owned by city located at 1450 South Hope Street to Dwight K. Barnes.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 8, ordinance authorizing purchase and sale agreement and sale of real estate owned by the city located at 1714 and 1722 South Holt Street to EIX Acquisition Company Corp.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move for adoption.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 9, resolution appointing election officers for District 4 special election.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 10, resolution authorizing Mayor Strange to make application to DOJ for a JAG grant for $90,444.
Need a motion to suspend the
Motion
rules.
to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 11, resolution revoking business license for failure to pay sales tax and authorizing show cause hearing doing business as Chevron Food Mart, 2631 East South Boulevard.
Okay, Mickey.
Yes, sir. This is to set it for a public hearing for September the 4th. They've not paid their sales taxes.
Okay. Need a motion to suspend the rules, gentlemen.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
Motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 12, resolution denying and or revoking right to operate a business for failure to purchase business license, doing business as BJ's Barber Shop, 2651 East South Boulevard.
Nikki?
They have no license, and we're still in business mid-July when we last
Okay.
checked.
Your motion to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 13 is withdrawn. It is now in compliance. Item 14 is withdrawn. Item 15, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package license, doing business as Larry's Trading, 5615 Old Selma Road.
Representative Larry's Trading Post, come forward, please. Yeah, you. You can't hear me? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was getting out pretty loud, but okay. All right. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item? I'll let you come forward, please. We've got Bert Pitts and Donnie Dickens. Okay.
My name is Bert Pitts, and I've lived in the community where this application is being made for almost 35 years. Mr. Mayor, Chairman Jenwright, and members of the council, thank you for allowing me to express my opposition to this third request for a liquor license for Larry's Trading Post. The desire of our community to deny this request has not changed. Since it has been almost 1 year since we last discussed this application, I would like to remind you why we do not want a liquor store in our community. Including Larry's Trading Post, the area where it is located has 4 retail businesses in comparison to hundreds of households. The same road where this business is located has 4 churches of varying faiths. Our community is not a business district, but primarily a quiet residential district, a rural community where a family can raise their children without the fast-paced lifestyle that comes with living in the city. We do not need the byproduct that comes from having a liquor store close at hand. I acknowledge the other 3 retailers, D&J Petroleum, Old Selma Road Butcher Shop, and Dollar General, offer beer for sale. It seems today that if a business sells food products as these do, beer is automatically made available as well. This does not justify turning a flea market into a package store. Likewise, the alcohol content of beer is generally 4 to 6%, while hard liquor averages 40%. The sheriff and police departments both acknowledge there is a drug problem in a portion of our community, and we don't need to increase the issues they deal with by making hard liquor readily available as well. We need to keep this stepping stone in the line of progression from beer to liquor to drugs out of our community. If someone wishes to purchase hard liquor, let them go to the business district of Montgomery and not across the street of the entrance of a major subdivision. Keep in mind, if this is approved, the council is setting a precedent for all residential neighborhoods in Montgomery. I ask that you once again acknowledge the desire of the residents in our community and deny this request as you have before. Thank you for your consideration.
Mr. Dickens, you have anything else?
Yes, my name is Pastor Donnie Dickens from Catoma Baptist Church, and I'm here to represent our church folks, and we stand in opposition to this license. We believe it would be a blight to a community that's trying to rebuild, and we appreciate your attention. Thank you.
Okay. How many people here do you have here representing your group?
Whole bunch right here in the middle.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay. All for this liquor license, come back forward. Come back. Attorney, talk to us.
I'm Doyle Fuller again. I won't belabor you beyond what I've already said to you
Okay.
in the work session, other than to say this. We appreciate the concerns of these people. There are also a number of people who are here supporting this application. They're over here. Would y'all all raise your hand?
I'm over there.
There are a lot of people in the community that want this out there.
Okay.
And I make this observation. This is just another business. It involves alcoholic beverages, yes, but as this gentleman was honest enough to point out, there are stores, there's a store 50 yards from this site that sells beer and wine. It's already there. There's no liquor store there, but there are liquor stores scattered all over this town. Mr. Green is an honest, decent businessman. Just want to make a living. As I said to you in the work session, I would urge you to approve this this license request and give these people over here what they want. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I declare the public hearing's been held.
Can I
Yes,
ask
sir,
a question?
Green,
Mr. Fuller.
Bell?
Mr. Fuller.
Mr. Fuller. Mr. Fuller, question, Mr. Bell.
You ain't in charge in here, Mr. Fuller. This is my friend Doyle. Hey, let me ask you something. There are some people over there who threw up their hands when you said that they were for it. And there are some people who threw up their hands when they said they were against it. Let me ask, are the people who threw up a hand against them, are they all residents of that area? And for the people who say they are for it, are you all residents of that area? You know, the dilemma that we have here as a city council, and I'll say this, usually, I speak for Fred Bell, I defer to the city council whose district I realize is outside of the police jurisdiction, but I think we're voting on something that we don't have a voice from that district. I mean, we don't have anybody from District 4. And so I'm just wondering, how prudent it would be for us to vote for something that is certainly not in District 6. You know, and the problem I'm having, we call upon to vote on something that the people who are there are not being represented necessarily. It's not against it. It's not against the law to drink whiskey in Alabama, and not against the law to sell whiskey. So I certainly would think that we ought to hear from a representative from District 4. I mean, that's my proposal.
I think.
I know it's going to be a little while, yeah.
Okay, from elected official.
Yes, from an elected official. I mean, we're voting something that doesn't necessarily concern the. I know we represent the whole cities. I mean, we represent collectively the citizens of the city of Montgomery. But I'm saying each of us individually was elected by a different constituent. And I'm just saying I don't know if I have the knowledge to vote on something that is going to affect either way the residents of our District 4.
Well, thank you. Mr. Bell, from my standpoint, at this point, we have nobody there, so it falls my responsibility to watch that particular district. And my standpoint is that we have a sheriff that says no, and a police department does not need to be given the obligation to take the responsibility for the protection out there. And so, in my opinion, I'm going to support my police department by saying no to this application, because it does not, would put our police department in a bad predicament. So that's my decision at this time.
Let me say that now. Because I asked a question now, doesn't mean I don't support my police chief too. I mean, I just got a different view as to not whether we should approve or not approve. My concern is whether I, who sits in District 6, whether I'm in a position to make that decision. Now, if we had somebody in District 4, I said, how are you voting? And unless it violates somebody's right, if he throws up his hand, I'm going to throw up my hand. And that's the end of that conversation for me. Thank you.
Mr. President, can I ask Mr. Bell a question? Mr. Bell, are you suggesting that a motion be made to defer any action on this item until after a new city council member is elected?
I think that would be the prudent thing, and it's just the one of the guys. Sometimes I don't see things the way other people see it. My wife can attest to that. But I just think, to me, if there was nobody in District 6 and no representation and was in the police jurisdiction, I would think that I would want somebody to wait until there's a representative there to get the feel of the constituents. Even though I realize it's not in the districts, it's in the police jurisdiction. So, and yes, I've learned, you know.
Point, Mr. Bell, is that it's in the police jurisdiction. I try, as president of council, to represent FOR until we get proper representation.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. So that's the reason I say I want to support the police department. Police department doesn't want it. I'm with the police department. Okay. So, anybody? I'm call for the public hearing's been held. It's proper for the council. Need a motion to suspend the rules. I have a motion to suspend the rules.
Mr. President, I've got to abstain
You got to abstain, okay, but you need, can I get you to suspend the rules first?
and be carried over 2 weeks.
You can abstain from the, vote, but you suspend the rules, you have to.
You can suspend the rules. Motion to suspend the rules.
All right, have a motion to suspend the rules, all in favor, raise your hand.
7.
Okay, how many not, all right, all opposed, same sign.
I beg your pardon, wait a minute. I need
Rules
to-
were not suspended, so this will be carried over for at least 2 weeks, okay?
Just a second. let me
It'd be
get my-
normal,
let me
it'd be
get my
normal
vote.
procedure.
That's 2,
Uh,
1, 2, 3, 8, it's gonna be 5.
Not so sure that's the proper thing to do. Since we've got a non-suspension of the rules, we have,
It has to be carried over, yes, sir, to the next meeting.
huh?
It has to be carried over to the next meeting if we don't get suspension of rules, and it takes unanimous
Okay, it
vote.
automatically does that, right?
Yes,
No-
sir.
No
It
question,
automatically
okay.
carries it
Automatically
over.
goes to next meeting, okay. All right,
Item 16, application for a restaurant retail liquor license doing business as Juicy Seafood at 2690 Eastern Boulevard.
If you could,
it's over. I mean, it has to automatically carry it over to the next meeting, period. That's all we do.
he has a,
Automatically carried over to
he
the
has
next
a
meeting.
procedural issue relative.
Huh? What?
He has a procedural issue relative to the fact that it had been carried over previously, and should it be under new business or old business?
It
That
will
was
be
really
under
his question.
it'll be under old business when it comes back.
No, tonight. Tonight.
Public hearing's
Tonight.
already been held.
The instructions, when y'all brought it from the table, was to advertise it and treat it like a new one. So that's why
That's
we...
the answer then.
That's, may I?
Yes, yes, Councilman.
If you will recall, last fall, this was tabled indefinitely. And
Right.
we got it called back. Procedurally, I believe I'm correct, it would come as old business. This is not the first reading of this, and the council could act on it tonight, because it was tabled the last time.
The instructions of the council when they brought it from the table was to advertise it again and treat it like a new license in order to give the public input.
There was a motion for the council to do that.
Procedurally, the fact is, it's not needed.
Look, Mr. President, I'll be happy to reconsider my vote, but I don't think you're gonna like the way the ultimate vote's gonna come out, but I'll be happy to reconsider it.
Well, you still got.
I was giving you 2 weeks to get a city councilman to talk to these people. That's all I was doing. You're not gonna like the vote you get tonight, I'm pretty sure.
And I'm not meaning to be argumentative, I'm just
I
making
could-
that observation, and whatever the council prefers, that's okay with me. That's fine.
I don't care.
Okay, carried over 2 weeks.
Mr.
Item
President,
16.
item 16, application for Juicy Seafood at 2690 Eastern Boulevard.
That's me.
Representative Juicy Seafood, please. Anybody from Juicy Seafood here, please? Juicy, you're here. Please come forward. Yes, sir. Your name for record?
William Robert Lewis, Jr.
Okay, William. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. It's brought before the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you.
Item 17, application for a restaurant retail liquor license doing business as Spartacus on the Border Cuisine, 1060 Eastern Boulevard.
Representative Spartus on the Border Cuisine, please.
We're taking.
Hi, Melissa, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Our school board member. Yeah. Tell me about this issue. What?
I am actually here representing the owners. They could not be here tonight, but they would like to open on August the 27th,
Okay,
and they need their liquor license.
all right. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. It's brought before the council. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Thank you.
7.
Thank you very much.
We have one abstention on that one, Mr. President.
You abstained on the vote, right, okay.
7-1. Item 18, application for a restaurant retail liquor license doing business as Saffron, 8868 Minnie Brown Road.
Representative Staffron, here, please. Yes, sir, come forward. Your name for the record, sir?
Raj Sharma.
This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare public hearing's been held. It's brought before the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
7. We have one abstention.
With one abstention,
Yes, sir. It carries.
so it carries.
Hey, I
Good
got
luck
a
with your
question.
business, sir. Thank you.
Thank
I have a question. When do you plan on opening?
In a week's time, most probably week or 10 days, we have to
I'll be
schedule
down
all
there.
the inspections and then we'll be okay.
Okay, I'll be down there.
Very good.
Thank you,
sir.
gentlemen.
Good luck with your business.
Item 19, application for restaurant retail liquor license doing business as Escape Tapas Grill, 109 Eastern Boulevard.
Representative of Escape Grill, please come in. Your name for the record, sir?
Frank Walker.
Hi, Frank. This is a public hearing. Anyone would like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. It's brought before the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend rules. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you.
Item 20, application for retail beer and retail table wine owner off premises doing business as Do Re Mi Karaoke at 2787 Bell Road.
Representative Do Re Mi. Your name for the record, sir?
Quan Cheng.
Yes, sir. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. Brought before the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with the business, sir.
Item 21, application for special events retail liquor license doing business as Riley Green Concert at 300 Water Street.
Representative Riley Green Concert. Yes, sir. Your name, sir?
Joe O'Brien.
Hey, Joe. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. Brought before the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend rules. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business. Good luck with your event. Yeah.
Item 22, appeal of proposed demolition of structures on several parcels at Maxwell Heights by Cassandra Shepherd.
Okay, this is the Maxwell Heights issue. Your name, ma'am?
Cassandra Shepherd.
Okay, Miss Shepherd.
Pass it to them.
Okay. Miss Shepherd, you own the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You'd like to talk to us about what your issue here is? Anybody get a copy?
I don't think it was enough. It wasn't enough. We can share for a minute.
We can share.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I'll give it to you.
This year in February, I began a business, Shepherd is nonprofit, Shepherd Vets and Senior Quarter International. The community will be to house veterans, the homeless, and seniors. About 8 or 9 months ago, I received a grass letter to cut the property. And that was done, half done, but done. When I received this demo parcel, I'm requesting the appeal because now that I've established the business, I just need more time to get the business started. The documents that I just gave you is an excerpt from my business plan. For time's sake, I just, took out a little
Okay.
phase for
Well,
the demo.
Mr. Carr there, you can talk to Mr. Carr, and he has been working on this. Have y'all talked before?
Yes, sir. Mr. President, we have met before. We've discussed past liens. We've been in communication for probably the last 2 years. She's had this property for a little over 11 years. There's 124 structures upon the property, and I think she would agree that those properties are pretty well past repair, that they probably will need demolishing. So we simply ask that you would uphold the unsafe structures notice today, and that would be denying her appeal, but we'd be happy to entertain any business plan that she has with the property.
Yeah, we don't want it, but we want it cleaned up. The community wants it cleaned up and fixed, so,
Mr. Chairman?
The city rather not have it.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
While I was at the Housing Authority and we looked at that property, trying to pick it up and look at it, we went into some pretty good detail, and that's in the pattern for Maxwell. It's also in an area called a splash zone area, which doesn't allow you to actually put new residential in there. Once it was cleaned out, my understanding is, and maybe Mickey McKinney, she was over there at the time, one of our city attorneys can speak better to that, but I think there's another problem with the property about occupying it, so it might be something that you look into.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've spoken with numerous people, and no one has shared that with me as of yet.
Well, I think the point is, it's in bad shape. It needs to be fixed. The city is sending you a message that we need it fixed, and so you've got a plan. If you can work your plan, then I think the city would be willing to work with you, but at this point, we need to go ahead and condemn it for.
We simply ask that you uphold the fact that it's unsafe structures.
Okay, that's all we're doing, saying it's unsafe. So I need a motion to suspend the rules.
No.
Do we just need a motion to uphold?
I think what you're going to do is deny the appeal.
Okay, I need a motion to deny the appeal. Yeah.
Should we suspend the rules first?
No, you don't need a.
Motion to deny.
Have a motion to deny. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Okay. Now you've got to work with the city to get you done. Okay, you got your plan.
Item 23, pursuant to Section 1153B1 Code of Alabama, authorization of demolition of unsafe structures at the listed locations.
Need a motion to uphold.
Motion to uphold.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 24, resolution assessing the cost of abatement of unsafe structures on various lots.
Brandon, you already gone? Brandon, okay, Brandon, why don't you talk to us? You got some information back there?
In regards to item number 25, the nuisance complaints.
Yeah.
So far, year to date, we've had 11,698 complaints that we've responded to. Of those 11,700, 8,500, over 8,500 have been found in violation. This week, we've got a total number of 667 properties we're asking for approval to abate. The information is on open data, and I believe we've also got a list of the properties.
Okay.
This should appear here in a second.
You can't find them?
And it is, like I said, it's 667, as you can see.
Don't go so fast, Mike. Well, I want people to see where it says tax sale. Tax sale is the state of Alabama.
Well, more than just tax sale, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to see also some treatment of the offenders.
Of those that are being shown there?
Yes, sir. I'd like to see some people embarrassed.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
We only got 90 and you got 600 and some odd to go.
Only got what? Okay, thank you for the information, good information. Okay, I need a motion to
Let it keep
Excuse
rolling.
me, excuse me.
suspend rules on.
Is this information available online on the city
on the portal.
website somewhere?
Yes, sir. It
What-
is. Every council meeting we upload it to open data. So
Okay.
you can go to the open data website and see not only our nuisance information, but our demolition, the nuisance lien information as well.
Okay.
As far as the total expense that the city had to put out.
Okay, thanks.
I need a motion to suspend the rules on the rest of the agenda.
Move to suspend the rules on this and the rest of the agenda.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
Motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right.
Item 25, resolution declaring public nuisances, authorizing abatement and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have
Yes,
the,
sir. I have some contingencies that I put before you.
Okay.
These have been approved by Mayor Strain, District 1, $1,000 to Goodwin Middle School, $1,000 to Garrett Elementary, $1,000 to Dozier Elementary, $1,000 to Lake Forest Neighborhood Association, $1,000 to Fox Hollow Neighborhood Association, $1,000 to Somerset Neighborhood Association, $1,000 to Hourhead Neighborhood Association. And Mr. Mayor, Mr. Pruitt just gave me a request before he left of $500 to Montgomery Independent Living and $500 to Triple J Initiative.
okay,
Are
anything else, gentlemen?
Hang on just a second, please, Ms.
We've got paperwork on Triple J Initiative. I know we've got that one. Let me check on
What
Montgomery.
is Triple J Initiative?
Independent Living's the one I did, for that golf tournament, so I know we have the paperwork.
Triple J?
Triple J, we've got the paperwork on, but
What
Montgomery,
is Triple J?
I don't remember, Mr. Mayor.
This is from contingency,
Yes, sir, it's from contingency.
and it's a 501c3?
Yes, sir,
We have the
we've
paperwork.
got the money, we've got all the paperwork from
All
it.
right, approved. What's the
Now,
other?
Montgomery Independent, yes, Montgomery Center for Independent Living, we have the paperwork on that one also.
Okay.
Okay. Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Okay.